When we complain that the beach is dirty or that there is a low amount of fish or seafood in our oceans, we must reflect on how we act upon natural environments and what the consequences of our acts are. Pollution, habitat changes, loss of habitat and overfishing are examples of bad management towards the environment that sustains us and represents the main problem affecting our coasts. The use we make of natural resources and the way we live result in different types of changes and impacts on habitats. The main risks that affect the shellfish harvesting on foot identified in the project are as follows. Contamination is a broad issue that includes components we introduce to the natural environment. Some, like solid wastes, are very easy to identify, but others, like organic and chemical contamination, are only visible when their consequences to ecosystems, landscapes and habitat are over the limit of resilience, which means that the damage to the natural environment is already done. One of the most prevailing impacts of human populations is microbiological contamination by the organic overload. Wastewater can introduce to the marine ecosystem bacteria and virus that can be eliminated by purification treatments. The massive proliferation of certain microalgae can be exacerbated by organic contamination, and it may aggravate the problem of red tides. These blooms of algae cause high concentrations of toxins that are extremely harmful for public health. Red tide is a common term to define a massive proliferation of certain microalgae that changes the colour of water and can introduce toxins, provoking negative effects in the shellfishing sector. It is a natural process that can be exacerbated by human impacts such as the organic overload. Some bivalves can accumulate the toxins in their body by filtering the water. These toxins cannot be eliminated by purification treatment and can be assimilated by humans, producing toxic effects. It is important to control the contamination alerts with the aim of avoiding extraction of affected bivalves. The spread of invasive species can be so dangerous and damaging as other types of contamination. The introduction of alien or locally absent species can unbalance local communities, potentially causing the disappearance of indigenous population by introducing diseases or through competition for resources and space. These can not only have negative effects on biodiversity, but also alter the capacity of biological communities to adapt to changes in their new habitat and ecosystems. Overexploitation is an example of bad management that is leading to natural resources depletion. Fortunately, the defence for sustainability is nowadays stronger and there is a better control against this practice. The measures to avoid overexploitation are based on the establishment of catch limits, better fishing techniques, minimum sizes, or geographical restrictions and temporary closures. These measures will be reviewed in the next module. In the same way that there are certain risks affect the shellfish harvesting as contamination, spread of invasive species, overexploitation or red tides, shellfish harvesting on foot can also generate these impacts without a proper management. Habitat change, introduction of alien species, overfishing, waste. In the next module, we will see how to improve the sustainability of shellfish activity.